Welcome back to another episode of Civility Wins, the Family Law Edition. I am your host, Kristen Goss, owner of KWG, Family Legal and Mediation Services. We are your knowledgeable, warm, and gracious attorneys. And this afternoon, I have with me Miss Phyllis Sisenwine. She is the lawyer's coach, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, of course. And so if you could tell the audience a little bit about you, who you are, and what you're doing today.
Okay, well, I was in sales. I sold office supplies and office furniture. Staples bought the company, and it wasn't as much fun working for a big corporation like that. So someone suggested, why don't you become a coach? 25 years ago, nobody knew what a coach was, a business coach. So I said, okay, because I was motivational, and when someone would lose an account, Phyllis, take me to lunch. I need some motivation. They thought coaching would be a good profession for me. So I checked into it. I took 36 courses, and I got certified. And people said, what sport do you coach? They didn't know what a business coach was 25 years ago. And I thought I would coach salespeople, but my third client was a lawyer. And my fourth client was a lawyer. And then I realized lawyers need sales. You don't learn in law school how to build a practice, how to network, how to get clients, and that was my expertise. So I got the domain name, thelawyerscoach.com, and I started speaking at bar associations, and the Lawyers Coach was great. It worked out great. And so many people hired me because there weren't enough mentors. Young lawyers, you need a billable hour, you need to get clients, but there aren't enough people in the firms to have time to mentor you. That's where coaching came in. So they were so hungry for coaching that it worked out beautifully, and I just became the lawyer's coach, and so served a lot of people, and it worked great. It still does.
Yeah, absolutely. I would really co-sign off and say your services are valuable and appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so as the lawyer's coach, I could say for myself as an attorney, I value professionalism, civility, of course, civility wins, ethics, professionalism, all of that, mutual respect. And the reason behind the podcast really was to promote and spread the word about the collaborative law process. What is that? What is it all about? And how it promotes civility and remaining private, whether you are going through a divorce, a paternity action, and being a human being, being a mother of 3 girls, a wife, a co-author of Civility Wins. If you do not have the book, it is on Amazon, by the way. I just would love to hear your perspective as the lawyer's coach. Working with attorneys, do you believe that civility is something that you see in the legal industry?
I do see it, because when I don't see it, I don't work with the client. I'm very particular, honestly. I give a free consultation to anyone interested, and it's an interview on both sides. They want to see if I'm a good coach for them. I want to see if they're a good client for me. In all the 25 years, I've only really let go 2 clients that I could think of. One, all he cared about was money. He just wanted to make money. He was an estate planning lawyer, aiming towards helping seniors, keeping them out of the nursing homes and looking at their estates, and all he cared about was the dollar. And that wasn't somebody I wanted to work with. I mean, I believe ethics, civility and ethics are my highest values, really, and I wouldn't work with him. I told him there are many coaches out there, perhaps it would be a better fit. And one other person who also was a little challenging, he just wasn't ethical. And there are, unfortunately, people out there. People said to me, Phyllis, you work with lawyers? You love lawyers? I love lawyers. Everybody doesn't love lawyers, as you know.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, there are some that give a bad reputation to the profession. But integrity is my personal highest value, and I only work with lawyers. And as I said, it's a two-way street. We interview one another that are in integrity, and that civility is important. We all want a good outcome for our clients and for the lawyer's client, and we want to do it in a professional way for sure. That's my highest value, and I respect your book title, certainly. Civility is what it's really all about.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, and I would happen to agree and appreciate, and that's why I have you here, because of your values. I think that in general and more often than not, lawyers do get a bad rep, and wanted to hear it from a non-lawyer that works with lawyers on a regular basis.
Yes,
So
I mean,
thank you
honestly,
for
people
that.
have said to me through the years, you really like working with lawyers? I love working with lawyers. I pick and choose honest, caring lawyers like you who just want to help. You want to help your clients. One of the things I say to each one of my new clients, if they want to market, is just say to people, how can I be helpful? You're not selling anything. Sometimes they're uncomfortable going to a networking event. You're not used to it. You're not a salesperson. They don't want to be a salesperson. But if you go to any event and you meet people and you just say, how can I be helpful? That's the question that I have my clients ask. And their businesses flourish because people need help. But when you approach it that way, which is how you do it, you want to be helpful to people. And I love the collaborative approach because unfortunately, I know too many people where divorces got ugly, unnecessarily ugly and expensive. And if they had only done collaborative, it would have been so much more pleasant for the children and financially and every other way. But sometimes people get angry and they just don't want to be collaborative.
Yeah, it is hard because it's an emotional aspect. I
Yes.
think 90% is emotions and the rest
course.
legal. But
Exactly.
yeah, well, thank you for sharing. My audience consists of both non-lawyers and lawyers, a lot of business entrepreneurs. As an entrepreneur yourself,
I am.
I would ask, is there any word of wisdom or words of wisdom that you can share with the audience about being an entrepreneur? What is that like?
Sure. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a solo business owner. And entrepreneurs are amazing. They have creativity, they have energy. There's a book, The E-Myth, which is an old classic, and it's about the entrepreneur and how we wear so many hats. When you're in your own business, you're marketing, you're accounting, you're doing everything. So when I work with an entrepreneur, a lawyer who's a solo, or myself included, staying focused is the secret. Focus. And there's a wonderful book, The Power of Focus, to really stay focused. What do you want to accomplish today? And what's a high priority task on your list? What gives you the best return on your investment of time? And that's what you want to prioritize. Because entrepreneurs are all over the place. I could be too. I have so many ideas and I'm so creative. I want to do a video. I want to do LinkedIn. I want to get, my ebook is coming out next week. All of these ideas, but you have to kind of rein me in sometimes, and how you can stay focused. And that's where coaching comes in. If you don't have a coach, get a buddy. Get somebody who you can say, you know what, I'm going to do this ebook in a month or by the end of the year. This is a great time. We're taping this and towards the end of the year. What do you want to accomplish by the end of the year? And as an entrepreneur, you might have 10 ideas. Oh, I want to do a podcast, or I want to do a video, or I want to give some speeches. But you have to focus. What's one thing? You can't be all over the place or nothing gets done. So I would say the suggestion is make a list of everything you really want to do, prioritize, and get a buddy. If you don't have a coach, get a buddy and just be accountable to someone. Accountability works. If I have a client and they say they're going to make 5 phone calls to past clients, by when? A week from Friday. They call me on Friday afternoon. Friday morning they make the calls, but they do it. I mean, sometimes they do it quicker, but most people say, I told you I was going to make these 5 calls, and I want to, otherwise I wouldn't have committed to it, and I'll do it right before our session. So accountability really helps, especially with an entrepreneur who might lose focus because they're so creative and they have so many ideas to stay on one task at a time. Get a buddy and get an accountability partner, and you're more likely to make that happen.
Wow. What? I have no words for that. That is so true. Accountability is key. And, just having the additional support of someone. And everyone needs a coach or a buddy in their life.
I mean, years ago, Weight Watchers was very big. Why? Because if you got on that scale, you would watch your diet that day anyway. The day you're going to get on the scale, you're going to eat healthy. It was the accountability. You know you're getting on that scale. You're going to, be careful with your food. You know you're calling your coach or your accountability partner. You're going to do what you committed to. So that's really important with business development or in life. If you want to exercise, if you want to, I have clients, even though it's business coaching, we get into personal. They want to go to a gym. And I had a client last week, a lawyer from Florida actually, and he said, I really want to go to the gym. I said, look on your computer right now, find a gym nearby. And while we were on the phone together, he found a gym 5 minutes from his house, and he joined the next day. And he called me, Phyllis, guess what? I joined the gym. He wants to play music. I spoke to a lawyer today who's a musician. His band just disbanded this summer. And you might know him. He's somebody in our community. His band, and he wants to get a band. So I said to this guy who, went to the gym, you wanted to be in a band, and I connected them today. So it's just great to have. He wants to exercise. He wants to play music. Besides build a law practice, you need that balance in your life. And a coach can also remind him. It's not just business development coaching. I can help you to grow your business, but you want your life to be happy. So I think it's the personal and life coaching piece that also comes in. There are a lot of coaches that are consultants, and they're great. I refer to them. They go into the law firm. They do processes and procedures. I do not do that. I'm one-on-one. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? So life coaching and business coaching are the combination. So if they want to exercise and that's on their to-do list, or they want to play music or go to yoga, that's part of their action plan. It's the whole person, really, not just business. It's great to be successful in business, but you want to have a happy life as well.
Yeah, and I think they intertwine, personal, professional, financial, whatever goals you have.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't just be in one lane.
Exactly. I think the balance is what we all really want in life, and having a coach to talk to, or as I said, a buddy, a friend, just to say, I've been meaning to go to the gym. I really want to join a gym. I've been working till 10 o'clock every night. Well, it's great, but physically you don't want to, get sick or burn out. So find some balance in your life, and that's where the buddy or the coach comes in.
Yeah, I love it.
And I can't wait till these two people get together and have a band, and you and I will
That's
go,
yeah.
and we will go and rock at that band. It'll really be fun
That's
to watch this
awesome.
happen today.
I'm happy for that client that you mentioned. You mentioned you have an ebook coming out, so I would like for you to share with the audience what upcoming events you have or plans you have as an entrepreneur.
Thank you. Sure. I have a book called Building Your Practice, Improving Client Relations. I gave this as a CLE for a law firm about 2 months ago, Philadelphia law firm. I've been doing so much in-person speaking, but since COVID, now it's Zoom. I didn't want to do Zoom. Now I'm the Zoom queen. What can I tell you? I'm doing Zooms everywhere. It does give you accessibility. There was a law firm in Philadelphia that I was going to go into the firm, but because it was a CLE, from the 15 people originally who signed up, 50 people signed up because they wanted CLEs. So once it was 50, they asked me to do it on Zoom, and it worked out beautifully. Because I did a couple of breakout sessions on Zoom, you can do that, and people were in breakout rooms, so they would not have met the other people. Partners and associates were all together, and they really loved it. So it was called Building Your Practice, Improving Client Relations, and I turned that presentation into an ebook. It's about 12 or 13 pages, and it has a topic, have a goal, and build relationships, of course, and I give a couple of tips about how to build relationships, following up. We all have the best intentions. We don't always follow up. That's one of the tips. Minimize interruptions. Lawyers are billable hours, or even if it's a flat fee, it's your hourly time that's so valuable. Each interruption takes 18 to 20 minutes to get back on track. Oh, I'll get a cup of coffee. Oh, I think I'll check my emails. 18 to 20 minutes, you've lost. 3 interruptions a day, you've lost an hour. And we do it to ourselves. You're in the middle of doing something. Oh, I think I'll go take a break. That 18 to 20 minutes, so that's in my ebook as well. Minimize interruptions. You don't realize it. Oh, I think I'll stop. Somebody says to you, got a minute? That minute is 18 to 20 because you lost focus. You lost, your direction. If you're reading a book and you stop, you can't go to the same word. You've lost a couple of pages again. So minimize interruptions, build relationships, have a plan, network with a purpose. I think speaking is a great marketing strategy, but you need a strategy. You just don't show up and give a speech. So there's a lot of tips in this, not just for lawyers, but anyone who wants to build a business can get this ebook for free on my LinkedIn page and my website, and it's Phyllis Sisenwine.
Okay.
As you so nicely shared, my name, Sisenwine. A lot of people butcher up Sisenwine. It's Sisenwine. That's it. Sweet wine, Sisenwine. But I do have this ebook coming up, and I do have a couple of programs which are CLEs for lawyers and bar associations. I don't know if it's appropriate or the area that you're in, but that'll also be on my website and my LinkedIn. And I do also speeches for nonprofits. I just did a speech which is so much fun. It's not a moneymaker for me, but it's just giving back. 40 women about a month ago at a country club in Florida, and it was about choices. You are what you choose. And it was just so much fun to help these women look at, they have choices. One woman said, I haven't played the piano in years. I'm going to start to play again. And another one, I haven't talked to my roommate in college in years. I'm going to reach out to her again. So it was personal development, but it was called Choices. You are what you choose. And I do that as well for nonprofits or women's organizations because that's the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, CLEs for lawyers as well. But speaking is a great way to meet people. And when you network, you meet 5 or 6 people. When you're the speaker, you meet everybody in the room. So I always recommend if you're comfortable speaking, it's a great way to add value to your business and just to make new friends that way.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate
Sure.
it. And I do have one last question
Sure.
for you. If you can share with the audience where they can find you on social media or
Sure.
otherwise,
Sure,
I would
thank
love
you.
to.
I am on my website is thelawyerscoach.com, the lawyers with an S, coach.com, and Phyllis Sisenwine, Sisenwine, is my LinkedIn page, and there's lots of information there. I have a video every week. I have an article every week. So come link on with me on LinkedIn. Join me on LinkedIn. Connect with me. And my website is thelawyerscoach.com. Or I'm willing to give anyone a free consultation at any time, just as a gift to you, if I can be helpful, and possibly working together in the future. But we have to make sure we're a real good fit. So I'm happy to do that anytime. If I can be helpful, that's my line, and it's true. How can I be helpful? That's what business people want to do today, just help others.
Yeah.
And that's authentic, and it's in integrity, and it's civil.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Phyllis, for joining me for this podcast. I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate all that you do in the community. So thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun. Thanks again.
My pleasure. So you have seen another episode of Civility Wins, the Family Law Edition. I am Kristen Goss, your host. I am the founder of KWG Family Legal and Mediation Services, and we are your knowledgeable, warm, and gracious attorneys. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.